Hi, everybody. We're here today to talk about how appearance shapes assumptions before you even start talking. Uh, how you take care of yourself and you present yourself to the world conveys a powerful influence on how your interactions with other people are going to be. And in my case, I'm over 60, and we'll talk about how different age groups present themselves. But for me, a kind of I mean, I don't care. I don't care how I look. I just wear clothes not to be cold and not to get arrested. You can't walk around naked. So I kind of went years without thinking about it, without really looking at not only how I present myself to other people, but my family, my friends. You just you get into a funk kind of thing. And it only takes a few minutes. And I'll show you what I mean. Hello, I'm back. I took a few minutes to brush my hair, change my shirt, and I don't know if you can notice the difference, but I went to a thrift shop last year, and you know, when you're on a pension and you're over 60, you really, I mean, you don't think about the things you need, like your attire. The way you dress doesn't really come into the forefront of your daily grind. To get through the day, you just wake up, throw something on, go about your business. But you're doing a disservice to yourself. 60 is not the end of life, nor is 70, nor is 80, nor is 90. I don't know if I'll make it to 100, but even if I don't, that doesn't mean I can't be happy with who I am. I've noticed, like, I got married in my early 20s. Before, I used to dress for my girlfriend, who became my wife. Um, and I wanted to look good for her. Then we got married, and, I was working, and you had to go, it was a dress code at work. As a professional, I had to go in a suit every day. It wasn't like it was optional every day. There was no, what do they call that Friday, Freaky Friday or Dress Down Friday or whatever they call it. I can't remember. There was none of that. It was professionalism at all times. There was no time where you could show up in a tracksuit or casual wear. It was suit and tie. As my wife and I started a family and we had kids, um, there's a lot of stuff that comes out of babies. And you're not going to wear a suit when you're changing a diaper or feeding a child or burping a child because you're going to get a mess all over yourself. Um, so you start, sort of hodling grungier clothes, stuff that you don't care if it gets dirty, if it's got vomit on it or whatever the case may be. Um, and then you progress, right? You get comfortable with each other and you're more casual, and that's fine. But it's when you dip below casual when you're looking like a hobo, right? The hobo look doesn't work for anybody because people, there's a thing called paraelectric error. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but no two people see the same thing. There's always a difference. But there are some common things. Most people cannot make out a face at around 40 feet, 40 to 50 feet, but they can see the clothes you're wearing, right? The body is much larger than the face or the facial features. And a lot of times what you're wearing either makes people to be attracted to you or repelled. What happened to me on December 25th, 2005, my wife passed away. And that was almost 20 years ago, or about. And I had to raise my 3 kids, and by myself, and I really I couldn't, with work and raising my children, have anyone in my life. And it was that way for quite a while. And I'm still a widower and alone. I'm not alone in the sense that I have family and friends and stuff like that, but no romantic interest, let's put it that way. Uh, but I do like when I, uh, I'm a talker, even though I stumble on my words and bumble and I have a stammer because 10 years ago, I had a stroke and it left me in a bad way. Mentally, physically, I'm not the same person I was before the stroke. But I do like interaction when I think it's safe, right? Because there's some people you don't want to interact with. They don't look safe. And usually those people that don't look safe do not wear appropriate attire. Hang on a second. Sorry about that. I had to change back. I'm cooking and the lid of the pot, because I'm making stew, started vibrating, and you know what a clean shirt is, a magnet to splatters. So I had to change back. But getting back to what I was saying about clothes being the type of thing that dictates how people perceive you, it's sort of, picture when we're young. We don't really care what we wear because we're too young. We don't understand it, right? We don't, it's whatever our parents dress us in or whatever they buy us. Then when you start to become a tween or a teenager, you know, that 11, 12, 13, we start to notice other people and we want to dress to sort of make people aware of our existence. We spend a lot more time in what we dress ourselves in. Once we find a significant other, we still maintain a very, very high level of awareness until marriage, kids, like I said before. And unless you're working in an environment which requires a certain level of dress code, it starts to peter off. So you start to hit your mid 30s, your 40s, your 50s, you lose the conscious awareness of how other people see you. This YouTube thing is a perfect example. YouTube is for the young. I would say 80% of YouTube is for young people, right? There was a time when everybody went around in a horse and a wagon. And technology changed, and now everybody drives. Well, the same thing with the internet. There was a time there was no internet, and it grew, and now it's huge. It's throughout the world. And it's a way to communicate, a way to learn, and one of those is YouTube. YouTube is a fantastic source of information. And I think they do a pretty good job, because when you think of all the bad stuff that could have been on there, the vast majority is, I would say, 99% awesome. YouTube is awesome. But once you're past 60, it's really a niche crowd. Young people, unless you're talking about finance, really don't care what you have to say, right? I don't have to tell a young person to dress nice. They know, because of social media, because of how they're seen in public, and that they could be recorded at any time. They dress for success. They dress really, really well. It's us older people, or more mature people, that don't think we can do anything anymore. This is life. We've gotten to retirement age, and now it's downhill. I'm trying to tell you, no, it's not. You can look at me. I'm on YouTube. My first time on YouTube was, I think, 2006 or 2008, somewhere like that. But that was for work, because I had to show clients their products, their equipment, and all over the world. So they're going to fly in and see it. I came up with, let's film it, let's put it on YouTube, and they can watch it on YouTube. They can then ask questions. We can answer the questions, right? So I would go through the whole product or equipment that produces the product, speed rates, and cycle times and everything like that, what to watch out for. And it worked. So for work I did, but I never thought to myself that I would start a channel. And then in 2019, 2020, I don't remember exactly when it was, but I started a channel doing documentaries. But in 2020, the world was falling apart. So now I started a YouTube channel, just whatever I'm interested in. I just get my phone and talk. Whatever it is. Stocks, food, right? I'm diabetic, so I'm trying, like, the stew I'm making is a cabbage stew, right? With all kinds of vegetables and stuff. Because food is boring for a diabetic. We basically can't eat 99% of the food that's available, because all I want to eat is cake and ice cream and chocolate and anything sweet, right? But that's how I became a diabetic. So now I can't have it, and now I want it more than ever. So I watch YouTube on how to, diabetic friendly foods. You do what you can. And in the process, it's making me more self-aware of how I present myself to the world. Because, like I showed you, same shirt, the only thing is different because I combed it than when I started the video, and then changing the shirt to just a shirt I found in a thrift shop for like $4.99. But it was Superman blue, and I always wanted to be a superhero. But that's as close as I'm gonna get. Maybe the same color shirt as the Superman blue. And I would like you to know, even as older adults, we should still take care of ourselves. We should still have a positive image, not just for ourselves, but for others. Because if you just take a few minutes like I did to clean up a little bit, put something nice on, it's a very powerful influence on people who don't know you. It projects confidence, professionalism, a personality. Even before you open your mouth, it opens the door to communicating with other people. Depending on what you wear, people trust you more. They respect you more. You have a little bit more credibility, right? Whereas if you don't take, let's say, I hate to say the word hobo, but if you dress down, like down, it shows you have a low self-esteem. You don't value yourself. And if you can't value yourself, how are you going to value other people? If you don't respect yourself, how are you going to respect other people? Right? You close doors. It's important at this age, over 60, to open doors. Right? Open that communication channel between you and other people. It doesn't have to be another old fogey. Right? You have kids, you have grandkids. Right? How do they see you? Like, my grandkids see me as crazy old grandpa, right? But in a fun way, right? Because costumes are not just for Halloween, right? So I'm going to Walmart, and Grandpa, we want to come. All right. Well, we want to wear something different. What do you mean something different? So they show up as two Ninja Turtles. What am I going to say? You can't go as two Ninja Turtles? Be happy. Let's go to Walmart with two Ninja Turtles, and I put on my Pikachu hat, which just goes to here, right? But it's like the Pikachu head portion. And we walk around, people laugh, people approach, and we talk. Now, I'm not telling you to dress up like a Ninja Turtle, but put something nice on. Like, just because you're older doesn't mean you don't look great in a summer dress. I'm talking to the ladies and some other people who might enjoy that, but just let you know, predominantly talking to the ladies. And guys, put on a decent shirt. Like, jeans are universal, right? Slacks, you can get slacks at Walmart for under 20 bucks. And for me, I still have slacks that I had 40 years ago. Just take care of your stuff and they'll last forever. This shirt was made, I think, in Vietnam. I'm not going to take it off to look at the label, but this is 30 years old. 30 years old. It's half my age. Well, a little bit less than half my age, but and the point is, you can go to a thrift shop, You can go to a Walmart. You can go to a Target. You can go to like any regular store, right? You don't have to go to Macy's or Moore's or anything like that. You can just go to a regular store, find a decent looking shirt, and present yourself in a way that attracts people to you. Because as you get older, we tend, as older adults, to drift away, to isolate ourselves. Look, I live on an island off of an island, right? So, there's a deserted island. Uh, well, I'm on an island off of an island, so it's double deserted. But I still interact with people, right? Take care of yourself. Put something nice on. Take a few minutes to brush your hair, right? And I like Superman blue or blue, but this is red, right? Checkered shirt. I guess that's what you call it. I'm not a fashionista. I don't know nothing. And you'll find that you'll attract more positive energy than negative. Here's wishing for a better tomorrow for everybody, and have a great day. Thanks. Bye.